to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We're not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
Man, it's been a rough week for me this week.
Oh, it sure has. You've had all the electric problems, and hopefully you didn't go to the fridge for every single one of them. You know what would help our diets if our fridges broke?
Well,
no, actually it wouldn't, because we'd have to eat all the food.
Well, not only that, but, we would go out and eat, out, because that's my big thing right now is I'm not eating. Well, I'm lying. I am eating out, but I'm making better choices, and I'm not going to the same. I haven't been to Taco Bell in so long. I drove by the other day, and underneath the sign, it says, "Where's John?" So it's one of those things. So, but I've been finding some different things to. You guys have Wawas up there?
No, we don't. And you and Jessica Kupferman talk about Wawa all the time. I think what we have that's close is Cumberland Farms, because our Cumberland Farms are like...
It's not even close. We had Cumberland Farms, and it's not even... All right.
Oh, okay.
Wawa,
ours are really good, just saying.
All right, so if anybody around the country that's listening to this, Wawa is like a Royal Farms or like a Sheetz, but 10 times better.
I don't even know what those are.
Yeah, I know. Well, Royal Farms is like more Maryland and out that way, and Sheetz is like out west and I think down south. So, but Wawa
I've been
is
to a Wawa. Yeah,
it's this little center of goodness, and they have like just about anything that you wanted to eat. So, like this morning, and they have an app too. You know me, I'm all about the technology. So I wake up this
morning. iPhone.
Exactly. So I wake up this morning, I'm like, damn, I'm out of eggs. Like, what am I going to do? So I get my Wawa app and I look at breakfast. They have an egg white omelet with sausage, American cheese, and spinach. I doubled up on the spinach, and what else? Oh, and I put the fresh salsa in there because it's not the salsa with all the sugar and stuff. It's like just onions, tomatoes, and green peppers and little jalapenos, right? So I make that. I get one of those. So I walk in, I get my coffee, I take my app, I go up to the front, I check in, I pay for everything. I walk over, it's in a bag. They go, "Thank you very much," and out the door I go. So then I can check so it's an egg white omelet. I really would have rather had like a regular egg omelet because I'm not really cutting out the fat. I kind of need that fat in my diet. But it is so cool that if you want to, there's like, in a pinch, you can always do something that's a little bit healthier. So that's what I'm trying to work out now.
That's what I like. And I especially like that more restaurants are catering to people who are more conscious about what they're eating. And now, actually, they either did this or they are passing a law that restaurants have to put the calorie counts for everything, which I hope includes fats and carb counts, because that's really what I'm looking for. I'm no longer looking at calories really, but I'm looking at those numbers, especially how much sugar is in stuff.
All right. So happy Mother's Day, belated.
Oh, thank you.
How did you do? Because that's like a big day. Like that's when mom gets her treats and
the day
take her out to dinner and
the day before, my husband got me chocolate-covered strawberries. And when I was looking at them, I'm like, oh, these are so decadent. But they're mostly fruit. The actual chocolate to strawberry ratio is very small. So I justified eating all 8 of them in one sitting.
Okay.
But also, still Shark Week. So that was Sunday. That was still Shark Week. So I was like, I am totally justified in this, but it was fine. The rest of Shark Week, I was so hungry and I wanted protein too. That's always the nice thing about when I am hungry, is when I'm actually craving protein instead of sugar. There was one day where I was just carbs and cheese all the way. That was all I wanted. I ordered garlic bread. I made macaroni and cheese. But aside from that, for the rest of it, I'm not necessarily going nuts with counting carbs and worrying about getting enough protein. But when I'm craving protein, it helps me out and I know it fills me up. And yeah, so I was good. I was pretty good. You know what? You did mention that in your omelet was American cheese, and we do have to make an apology.
We do.
You have to make an apology.
I have to make an apology to Paul because listen, Paul, I have a horrible, horrible memory. And the fact that I just remembered American cheese, and, not that Emily is totally out of the woods on this, because I think she mentioned your name, and I was like, oh, she must have seen this. She knows what she's talking about. I'll piggyback off of that. Well, no, I was wrong. It was not Paul. It was a tweet. And I think I even put the tweet in the apology in the Facebook group.
Yeah. So American cheese, still cheese. Paul knows. Paul loves cheese.
Right.
We are, part of our merch will now be a big heart around American cheese. I don't know.
And in Canada, they don't have American cheese. Like, they don't call it American cheese. And I think that's unfair because we have Canadian bacon.
We have Canadian geese, too. They just call it geese.
Right. I wonder if they call Canadian geese. They would just call them geese, right?
They just call them geese.
That's true.
But I don't necessarily look at a goose and say, oh, it's a Canadian goose. But
that's true. Yeah, I never thought of that. We get bacon and geese from Canada. I think that's about it, right?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Lisa will let us know.
Yes. Our fans, Lisa and Sam from I Shake My Head with Lisa and Sam. One of my favorite guilty pleasures podcasts to listen to. So, and the Facebook group is going well. People are joining, and we're excited and shocked. I'm shocked.
Yeah. Welcome, new members. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so awesome when we post stuff, when we go live. I went live the other day talking about my geocaching adventure, and I had no idea it was as popular as it is because it's an app on my phone. I honestly didn't expect to find anything. I thought it was going to be a joke. And then the first time I found a little treasure in a tree, I was like, oh, this thing is real. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at first. Like when you said you're out there and you found this bottle in a tree, I'm like, don't touch that. You never know who put that there. Get away from that. It's got a note.
For those who don't know, geocaching is an app on your phone, and there's also a website, and it gives you coordinates and sort of a map that you can follow to find these kind of treasures. And for the most part, what it is you go and you find them and you sign your name and the date that you've gone. And it's really cool because you end up finding these places that I didn't know this one park that I was doing the Facebook Live from existed. And it's a really, really nice park. So it was nice to go for a walk and find it. And some of them you can just drive your car to a certain spot and get out of the car, sign the thing, and get back in. But for the most part, I've had to find a parking lot and walk a little bit. And even that tiny bit of walking, that 5 minutes of walking, is more than I would normally do. So adding that up a few times every few days, it's been pretty nice. And I finally did put a walking app on my phone. I have a Fitbit. I keep letting it die and forgetting to charge it, but maybe that's also something for the future. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the things I don't like about the Fitbit is you never know if it's charged, and you don't really know if you've left it on enough, or because you kind of wear it at night because it tells you when you're sleeping, when you're in REM sleep and all that kind of stuff. So how do you charge it? How long do you charge it? Is it charged? I don't know. I'm just not one of those. To be honest with you, I get everything again from my iPhone, and all I really look at is the steps. How many steps I've taken in a day, which I'm trying to boost up and do stuff like that. So I think I actually, as a week goes by, the week goes by, I'm divorced, and I'm still very good friends with my ex. So my daughter says, "Hey, we're having Mother's Day. Would you come over?" And I go, "Okay, what are you having?" Because I'm kind of doing this no carb thing. And she goes, "Oh yeah, we're having baked ziti and fresh garlic bread." And my daughter makes the best garlic bread from scratch. I said, okay. She goes, "Well, I'll make you a big salad, and we have meatballs, and I'll just leave the sauce off some of them." So I'm like, okay. So that's what she did. And I had meatballs and a nice big salad. I had the big salad. And,
nice.
And so, so I went over, we had a good time. I got to enjoy them, and it wasn't about the food. And I really didn't even miss the, all that stuff that I would normally eat. So again, it's just kind of planning and doing what you need to do. If that didn't work, I probably would have stopped or brought something with me. Just brought my food with me.
Yeah.
Because it's not really about the food. It's about being with the people. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Have you found the tomato sauce that has no sugar in it? There are certain ones that don't have sugar in it.
Yes.
One of the ones from Aldi, and I think it's the organic one, has no sugar in it, and it tastes really good. We like it pretty much, and my husband is He's so anti these no sugar diets. He's like, I need sugar in my stuff, but he actually liked that sauce. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the thing is that it's so funny. My family is a ragu family, so they don't even call it. They just call it ragu. Yeah, we're having ragu. So it's, they wouldn't get the no sugar sauce because they wouldn't like it. We don't like it.
Really?
Have you tried it? No. Well, how do you know you don't like it? It came to me in a dream. It's an old George Carlin
I honestly don't even notice the difference. I really don't. I think the sugar is just there to maybe take away some of the bitterness of the tomato.
Yes, it is. Take the acid away from, yes, that's exactly what it's there for.
That must be what it is. My ex-husband was Italian, and the first time I tried his sauce, I didn't realize this was an insult. Like, I insulted him so much when I said, oh, this tastes just like Chef Boyardee. Holy jeez. Fight that came from that. I didn't even realize that would be an insult to him. But it was because he added sugar to it.
Oh. Wow. You might as well just spit it out. I mean, that would have been the same thing. Just like took a spoonful, just turned, went, wow, that's just like Chef Boyardee.
I thought it was really good because I grew up with the crap food, and I thought Chef Boyardee was the ultimate tomato sauce.
Oh.
I know.
No wonder you're divorced.
I know. It's true.
Oh, it was like, oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say to that.
It's such a terrible thing I said.
I don't even know if you could make a comparison. I'm trying to think what that would be like if he walked up and you made something that, you're like your best dish, and he walked up and said, wow, that tastes like McDonald's or yeah.
I'm trying to think because I'm Irish and Hungarian. So really, Irish food is, I'm sorry, Irish people, but the Irish food that Americans make is very bland. And then Hungarian food, on the other hand, that's probably why that half of the family, half of them are diabetic or pre-diabetic. Oh. Because it's so... We have egg noodles, and basically if you add sour cream and paprika to anything, it's Hungarian, but it's so good.
I got you.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was going to talk to you about is what do you do? All right, so we're doing this podcast and we're kind of sharing, putting things out there, but what do you do when you don't want to share? Or how does that work when you don't want to share? I mean, have you set any kind of boundaries with that yet?
Well, everyone who listens now knows my cycle, so that's fun.
True. I didn't think of that.
But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, half the people in the world have the same, they understand. They know what I'm talking about because they're women. What haven't I shared? Well, we talked a little bit about our poop habits in the episode where you had all the almonds, but not really. I haven't really talked about that, but I'm a little bit more cognizant of it when I'm dieting because I'm always making sure at least once a day that happens.
That's true.
So now we've talked about it, but but when you're dieting, that's something that you think about because you want to be able to get all the bad stuff out and make sure you're getting enough fiber and that you're not uncomfortable, and that especially with something like keto where you're eating a lot of fat, you have to balance that with fiber because the fat and the protein will stop you up. Oh, so
yes, it will. That is true.
Yeah.
And then so what happens is the fiber kind of adds carbs to your cycle too. So there's a thing. I love the name of this tea, and it actually does work. If you go to a place, it's called Easy Move or Good Move Tea. That's the name of it. And it actually works as kind of like a laxative. So if you get kind of bound up from the no carbs or, no fiber, it kind of works. But the reason I brought this up was I was thinking about doing weight loss surgery. I was thinking about doing weight loss surgery to the point where I went to the doctors. I had all the tests done. I was ready to do the 2-week, just drinking liquids. I was ready to go, and I bailed on it. And
this was a few years ago, right? When you were doing Into the Weeds with Jess?
It was about a year ago, to be honest with you. It wasn't really that long ago. So I had passed all the tests, and, we were ready to do where you just do the liquid diet. And one of the things was, the reason I said I would do it was I said if I didn't lose this weight by a certain date, that I would just go get the weight loss surgery. I would just go do it. And then I was talking with other people. And then right before I was ready to do the 2-week liquid diet, a friend of mine who had the surgery a year and a half before, she died from complications of the surgery.
Oh, no.
It's true. And the reason, God rest her soul, was that she didn't pay attention to anything the doctor said. She didn't do anything she was supposed to do. She had the surgery, and this is my problem with the surgery. And again, my opinion, and I know nothing. We know we're not doctors. We don't play them on TV. But my opinion is that weight loss surgery is great to for some people. But I think people that have eating disorders and don't address those disorders, that once they have that surgery and they don't have that anymore, you kind of lose your mind. And she kind of lost her mind through this whole thing.
Yeah.
She had all kinds of differences. Now, to her credit, she reached her goal weight. But at such a medical cost to her that she ended up dying from. And again, I lost touch with her. She had moved away because she was basically kind of bedridden. She had amnesia because she didn't have enough niacin, and she lost. I lost touch with her because she was in a hospital. I had no idea where she was, because the reason we met was we were going to the same gym, and she was getting ready to do the weight loss surgery. So we talked there. I didn't really know her, but I knew her enough, to talk about all this stuff. And we were friends through social media. So then she dropped off social media, had no idea where she was. And then she messaged me back about 8 months later that she had the surgery, and she didn't get enough, I think it was niacin, or I forget what mineral it was, and she lost her memory. So I was like, I kind of panicked. I said, you know what? I don't need this. So I stopped it. Now, a good friend of mine that I was on her show twice, it's the weight loss surgery podcast. Her name's Rieger Cortell. She's like, hey, I want to talk to you. I want to know about what's going on with you. And although I'm sharing this here with you guys, I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I want to have that conversation. I just don't know if I want to drag myself through that kind of conversation again, because it does draw up, emotions and I guess fears of going through that whole thing and then seeing that. And then also it's kind of a disappointment, because now if I wanted to try to go through that again, I have to go back through all the tests again and do the whole testing over again. Honestly, in my heart of hearts, I don't think I would be successful at it. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure I could do the 2 weeks before, then have the surgery. And then I don't know if I would lose my mind afterwards, because it is one of my crutches. And I know that this week, because of everything that went wrong, there was nothing that I wanted to do more than the addiction to sugary foods and carbohydrates was never more evident to me than it was this week. It was a fist fight every day. I mean, my computer drive went bad on Monday. I lost my internet on Tuesday. I had shows to record on Wednesday. I had to set up a whole new laptop and get everything else set up. So it was just like one kick in the teeth after another. And I just found myself going to want to go out and just get something. I was like, look, just have this. You'll be fine. It'll get you, take the edge off. And I said, who says that? People that are addicted to alcohol and drugs and
heroin. Yeah.
It's just, and I just thought to myself, and it's for the first time in my life, it actually scared me how much I was really drawn to it and how much I had to fight it this week. And no sugar, no milkshake, no, nothing like that. No run through the drive-through, no Taco Bell, none of that. So to me, that was a big win for this. But I don't know if I want to go to a show, or, I guess we would talk before. And again, maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse. I don't know if I would want to go on a podcast and talk about weight loss surgery in a negative way. For me, this is for me. I mean, if anybody else has had it, I'm not poo-pooing it. If anybody else is going to do it, I'm not poo-pooing it. It could work. I've seen people have fantastic turnarounds with weight loss surgery. All right. I just don't know if I'm that guy.
Well, it's a personal thing. It's not like you're actually poo-pooing the whole thing, but because of the personal connection, I would be a little scared of it too.
And for some reason, Rieger, I don't know what it is about her. She has a spell over me. She draws everything out. Like, she'll ask me questions, and then I feel bad. Like, I don't want to not answer it honestly. So then I answer everything honestly, and then I get off the phone or, the call, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe I just said all that. I can't believe I just told everybody that. Now, I think we could have a private conversation first. But then I'm probably know me the next thing you know, because you know me. Someone says, oh, you want to be a guest on my podcast? Here I am. I mean, do you have anything kind of like that? Has anybody kind of recommended something that you didn't want to do and kind of pushed it on you?
Not with weight loss, really. More with other things, like other things that I have going on in my life. Like my mom is bipolar, and I've had people ask, oh, do you want to come on and talk about having a mom who's bipolar? And I'm like, no, not even a little bit.
No.
Like, it's not something that I want out there for entertainment, in a weird way to say it, for other people.
Yes.
It's the same way I kind of feel about, and we're going to lose listeners by me saying this, it's the same way I feel about true crime, where I don't find it entertaining to listen to bad stuff like that. So I don't know.
You know something, I understand what you're talking about with that, because sometimes I'm fascinated by it, and then it's like one of those things you can't look. You don't want to look, but you can't look away. But I understand what you're talking about. Yes. And again, we're not saying that, you're a bad person if you like true crime. That's just, we just don't like it. Like some people like chocolate, some people like vanilla. So I wasn't sure. And, the bipolar thing, one of my best friends growing up, his mother was bipolar. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. And, and as a kid, with 7 or 8 years old, you have no idea what's going on. And then as you get older and you grow up through that, because, that's when I started being friends with them, and I'm still friends today with them. You find out what's actually going on. So that's really, really a personal situation.
Yeah. And I think the weight loss thing, especially because of your personal connection with somebody with that, that's just as hard to talk about. Yeah. Once it happens to you, it's easy to talk about something kind of in a third person way of, oh, I have a friend who had a friend who died from weight loss surgery. That's easy enough to talk about. Or when people talk about bipolar and they might say, oh, my friend Emily, her mom's bipolar. It's like, that's fine. That's probably easy because they're removed from the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, I almost thought it was like a sign. I was getting ready to do the 2 weeks and I hadn't heard from her in a while. So I looked her up. And when I looked her up, there was like a memorial on her page.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, no. And it was like 2 weeks before I found out. And then that kind of just blew my mind. And I was like, you know what? I don't know if I can do this. Honestly, I don't regret the decision. I don't. Because I feel...
the thing is, you're also seeing progress now, and you're doing it on your own.
Yes.
That's one of the things is the weight loss surgery, for me at least, if I were to do it, I would think of that as sort of a magic pill to take away all my problems. Unfortunately, that's just how my mind works. But I know there's work that goes into it. But the thing is, if I can do it myself, kind of like quitting smoking, if I can tell myself, I don't need a crutch or a magic pill or anything like that. If I can do it myself, I'd rather do it that way. I would use that as a crutch way too easily. Yeah. And I would probably do the same thing as well. I have the weight loss surgery. I can eat whatever I want. I knew a guy actually who got ab implants to give himself a 6-pack. So he ate more and he ate and he got a gut over the implants that he had gotten.
So it looks like he has a 30-pack.
Yeah. It looks like it has a keg right now because it's all just one big glob. The implants there's fat over them now.
Well, there's a thing out now. I don't know if you've heard of this, that there's a thing now where it's not weight loss surgery, but for 6 months, what they do is they put a balloon down your throat and they fill it with saline. And what happens is it takes up a lot of your stomach, so you can't eat as much. You have the same issues that you would have with weight loss surgery. Like if you eat too much or you drink alcohol or something, you have that thing where it makes you bring it back up again. So she did it for like 6 months. And I was like, it was 2 weeks later. And I said, hey, how's it going? And she's like, don't ever do this. I'm like, okay, don't tell me twice.
Oh.
So she went through that. And did she lose weight? A little. And again, everybody's results will vary, but she didn't lose enough where I would want to have someone stick a balloon down. And then she had to go back under, and I had to go get the balloon out.
Wow.
Yes, they go down there, and then they come back up, and they drain the water out, and they pull the balloon back out.
Wow. I knew a few people who did lap band surgery. I'm not sure if that's the same weight loss surgery that you were talking about, but the lap band, they can go in and adjust it, and it's a little band that goes around, I think it's their stomach or their esophagus, and they
restrict it. They kind of make a little pouch there. No, I was going to do the gastric sleeve where they take your stomach and turn it into a banana and they cut the rest of it away. Like instead of having a basketball or a bowling ball, you have a banana. So you can't put as much food through.
But even with the lap band, they had to go through not only a certain diet before they did it, but they also had to go through sort of a psychological test to make sure that they could mentally handle it. But the thing is, it's a group test because I went with a friend to go to hers. She was like, I just kind of need support. I have to go to this test. And it was it was a group setting and there was a whiteboard. And I'm like, how are they going to, because it's kind of a class too. And it was very weird because they didn't really, I thought it would have been better if it were one-on-one counseling and somebody really talking to them.
Well, that was my point. When I first went there and when I first went for the consultation for the weight loss surgery, I said, listen, mine is more mental than it is physical. I said, I need more counseling before we do this. You're not just going to open me up, then take, out 3/4 of my stomach, sew me back up again and cut me loose. I don't want that. I want and they're like, yeah. So I was going through this thing. I went through all the blood tests and the heart test and they go sleep study and all that kind of stuff. So I went through all that and I was ready to go. And I go, when are we going to do the mental evaluation or the psychological evaluation? And I go, we do that the 2 weeks while you're on the liquid diet. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm going to be on a liquid diet. How am I going to be able to do anything or even concentrate on what you're talking about or even know if that's ready to go? So to me, I felt like they lied to me. In other words, and again, this is my thoughts. I felt like they lied to me. I felt like they said, okay, we're going to give you the therapy and then work with you on that, and then you'll be ready to go. And they didn't. They just kind of push you through. And you got to remember that even though this is a medical procedure, it is a business also. So they really want to kind of push you, get you through this. And then they figure that like once you have it done, what are you going to do? That's when we'll do the therapy. But then to me, then that's too late. Like what happens? Like if you try to eat and then I forget what they call that, but then you can't keep it down and you're constantly trying to throw up and you have nothing to throw up and you're sitting there for 45 minutes. That doesn't sound fun. So that's kind of my thing as far as weight loss surgery. I mean, I don't want to scare anybody away from it. I really don't. I mean, if it could work for you, but it's just like my experience and then having to go back and talk about why I didn't want to do it. I don't know if they want to hear that.
It might help people though, because when you go to the website, any website that's selling anything, you're just going to see the success stories and the people who say, it's great, I feel wonderful. And I'm always looking whenever I'm on those sites for weight loss or anything else, I'm looking for more the 3-star reviews on Amazon or the people who are like, meh, didn't really work. And I tend to give those a little bit more weight than I do the 5-star reviews on things because you never know who they're paying or who was compensated with whatever the product is. And of course, they're going to say it's a 5-star because they got it free, or people who are asked to give a review maybe 2 weeks into something, but I'd love to hear what they say maybe 6 months after it.
Yeah, it's true.
So I don't know. I feel like you should do what's comfortable for you. But I also think not having listened to the rest of that podcast, I'm not sure if it's maybe a weight loss surgery positive podcast and you would give people some truth bombs there. But I think it might help people. But it's absolutely something that if you're not comfortable doing.
Again, I think I'm going to have a conversation. I wanted to have it here first. I wanted to bounce some ideas off of you, and then I'll just go in. I guess I'll just be honest. And then if she doesn't want to, have that message on her show, then that's a good thing. I don't have to worry about it. So.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So yeah. I've yapped long enough. What about you? What's been going on with you? What have you been into this week?
Oh, I've gotten into so many weird things. Last night I posted in the group that I was, again, really ravenous. And so as soon as my eating window closed, I'm like, I got to do something because this water is not cutting it. I'm not going to want to drink water. So I put teeth whitening strips on, and that made me have to take a break from eating for 30 minutes. And then after you get the gunk on your teeth and you taste the chemicals or whatever, I did not want to eat for the rest of the night. And so that helped. If anyone's looking for a way to be like, I just have to stop eating, go get white strips. It's fine.
She has a beautiful smile this morning. I'll tell you that.
I do. They're 3-day strips that I got in. I order a Walmart beauty box. So every quarter I get a box full of goodies. And one of the goodies this month was the whitening strips. And I was like, well, I might as well try them. It'll help me out. And I understand, like, people used to get their mouths, braces on their teeth to sort of shut their mouth so they would only be on a liquid diet. I mean, this is like extreme dieting from the 1970s.
That's called a broken jaw. When you break your jaw, they wire your mouth shut and you can't eat for 8 weeks. That's the truth.
Best diet. No.
My oldest daughter, was kicked in the face by a horse and broke her jaw.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And she had to, she was on that liquid diet for 8 weeks. And she would go to Taco Bell and get a taco or whatever, burrito, and she would come home and she would blender it up with water. And she would drink it through a straw.
No!
I know. And I said, "Are you serious?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's great. Want to try some?" I'm like, "Listen, I love Taco Bell like the next person, but I'm not liquefying it.
I don't want a Taco Bell shake.
No,
that's not a thing.
No, it's not a thing. So yes, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that was my most recent thing this week, is really the teeth whitening strips. And I have one more because it's a 3-day thing. So I have one more that I'm going to use tonight to kind of stop my eating window when I want. I mean, the nice thing about intermittent fasting is I don't really have to think anymore about what I'm eating. And that was a big thing for me, is when I was put on a diet. Well, when I put myself on a diet where you had to eat every 3 hours, eating breakfast was never a thing for me that I liked. I was never a big breakfast person. I don't like waking up and eating. And I especially hated with this diet, the Trim Healthy Mama diet, where you have to eat every 3 hours, waking up and being like, oh, I have to make food. I have to eat in the morning. I don't want to eat in the morning. So it's easy for me to go as soon as I wake up and go for a few hours without eating, but it's stopping. And especially at night. Especially late at night when I haven't eaten and my window's closed for a few hours and I'm like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I just want one thing. But nope. Teeth whitening strips.
Yeah, from 9 until I go to sleep is like, it's torture for right now. Some days yes, some days no. So am I the only one weighing in, or?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good to weigh in.
Because I heard you say it was still.
Well, that was Mother's Day. Mother's Day was still swimming with the sharks, but no more.
Okay, just checking. All right, so we ready to do this?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go!
All right, who's first? You or me?
I'll go. I'm pretty happy. I lost the 1.5 pounds that I gained last week. So now I'm back down to what I was for episode 3.
Okay.
So I was so worried, John. At one point, I don't know why I did this. The middle of Shark Week, I got on the scale at night. I don't know why I did that.
I don't either.
I scared the crap out of myself because I was up 4 pounds. Like, I was back to what I was in episode 1, and I was like, oh no, I'm letting John down. I'm going to screw everything up. And then I went and ate my feelings, which, I don't know. But I was so happy today when I got on the scale, because I was really worried because I hadn't gotten on the scale since then. And I realized, okay, women out there, your period, your weight will fluctuate between 1 and like 10 pounds during that. And going on in the middle of it at night after I've eaten everything, I don't know why I did that. Like, that was the dumbest thing I could have done. But going down to back to what I was 2 weeks ago, so happy. So happy.
So I don't get on the scale every day. I refuse to do that because what happens is it drives my day. So I don't. So what I normally do is I will weigh myself on Monday morning, and then I weigh myself right this morning before we record, so I know what's going on. So, and I think that does help. So to this week, first of all, let's give you a...
Yay!
All right, so that's good. So we're back down with that. And then for me, I got on and I'm down 6 pounds this week.
Oh my God. Wow.
I know. So I'm not going to, that's a big one for me. I was a little nervous because when I got Monday, I was down 2, and I was like, well, okay, at least you're not up, because it was after the Mother's Day thing, and I wasn't sure, with the meatballs and everything, I wasn't really sure if there was anything in there that would kind of throw me out of the ketosis or whatever I was in, and it didn't. And then this morning, I'm down another 4 pounds, so I'm down 6 pounds, and I think that is 18 altogether.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, since you started keto and everything?
Yes. So it's 18 altogether.
Wow.
So there you go. I don't know if I like the look on your face. It's like you look stunned.
I completely forgot what I was going to say.
Okay. I don't want it to be upsetting. I mean,
No.
Men and women are
awesome.
are two different animals when it comes to, it's for some reason we seem to lose weight when we behave, men, more than when women do.
No, it's absolutely true. And especially with my husband, who whenever he's on a diet and he loses 20 pounds, he's down 2 pant sizes. Meanwhile, for women, it takes us a ridiculous amount of weight to go down 1 size, because women's pant sizes make no sense. They make absolutely no sense at all. Men, I don't understand why women can't have hey, how many inches around is your waist? How many inches up is your inseam? That's what I want. But women, no. Let's have these arbitrary numbers that, a size 12 is the average woman. Well, what does that mean? What does that actually mean?
I think that system was made up by women. So, because men are easy. Everything's inches. What's your waist size? It's a 36. If you take a tape measure and go around, my waist is 36 inches. Where if you did that with a woman and said your waist is 36 inches, they'd be like, it is not. How dare you?
That's true. Those numbers are bigger, but I'd rather have accurate numbers. And also, when you look at women's sizes, there was a picture, I'll try to put it in the show notes or in the group, of a woman who bought 3 or 5 different pairs of shorts in a size 8, and she layered them on top of one another. And it really went from giant size 8 all the way down to maybe what a size 4 would be of the bigger size of, it's so all over the place. So we can't just go to a store and pick up a pair and say, oh, that's my size. We have to try it on. We have to go through the things, and it's kind of torture.
Yeah, because I would okay, so I'm not saying all men, but most men shop. I mean, most men buy. Women shop, men buy. Like, you go in, you try things on and all that. Men buy. They walk in, they go, where's the 42 by 32 pants? And they go, here. Yep. You go over and you look, you're like, okay, I need 2 of these. Where's your shirts in XXL? Oh, over here. I'll take these. And then you put them in a bag. Do you need to try them on? Nah, I'm good. And they just walk out of the store with them, where they don't have to try everything on and get the mirror and look in the back. Does this make me look? How's that make my butt look? Okay. So yeah, but I think you guys did it to yourselves, to be quite honest with you.
Well, one of the things that happened over the weekend actually was, I talked about this a little bit in the Facebook group, was I went to a baby shower, and my son, the one nice shirt I have, because I work from home, so all my work nice clothes are kind of stored right now, and also until I fit into them again. So I had to go out and buy a new shirt, and I grabbed a couple that were in my size, and I'm so glad I took the time to go and try them on, because I thought, well, I'll just grab off the rack. So first of all, none of them are long enough anymore. I don't know why crop tops are a thing, but they need to stop. And then when I tried on a bunch, they fit everywhere except my arms. I unfortunately have what I call high Helens, which are the old ladies at church who see their friends and they go, hi, Helen, and they wave, and the fat underneath their arm just shakes and jiggles.
They call that bat wings, I found. I heard that's a women's bat wings, because Lisa and Sam were talking about bat wings, and I'm like, I don't know if they know what that means, because bat wings for a guy is way different than bat wings for a lady. So
no, I call them my high Helens, but my shirt, it looked like I was the Hulk about to rip out of them. So I finally had to buy, all right, I have to find a shirt that's long. I have to find billowy sleeves. So I don't know. Sizes are so weird. Everyone's bodies are so different. It's like you have to go and get personalized clothes and measure every part of yourself. Oh, it's so hard. That's why I'm basically a t-shirt and yoga pants girl all the time.
That's right. Now you work from home. So there you go.
Yep.
Hey, listen, I have the same kind of uniform. And I heard someone the other day say, if you wear sweatpants, you've given up. And I'm like, all right, I might give you that for now, but we'll see I don't even know. I think if I lost enough weight where I could wear, I don't know if I would wear it. It's just too comfortable to wear Like if you're working or something like that, why not be comfortable? That's what I say.
It's so comfortable. And the fact that I wear yoga pants every day, when I do actually do yoga in them, I am so proud of myself. I'm like, you have served your purpose today, pants. Good job.
Nice job. I actually used you for what you were made for. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I say to my chair when I sit in front of the TV and I do the chair exercises. I'm like, didn't break you today.
Chair exercises.
Yeah, I did. And it's I said it's working. It's working. I do feel, it's funny. I woke up one morning and I said, man, my arm's sore. And I'm like, why is that? I'm like, I might be from the stupid chair exercises.
They're working.
Yeah. So I don't know who's working more harder, me or the chair holding me up. Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll get harder for me and easier for the chair. All right. Well, you ready to get out of here, kiddo?
I am ready.
Great job this week. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Very, very proud.
I'm proud of you, John.
Well,
this is so amazing.
I'm happy too. I'm excited we did this. I know that I would not have been as far along as I am right now if it wasn't for this podcast. If I didn't have to get on the scale and come in here and talk to you and talk to the people out there. And thank you so much for everybody out there that's listening, that's on this crazy roller coaster ride. I really do appreciate it. And join that.
Everyone in the Facebook group. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, come on over and don't just lurk. Talk to us. You got to come in there and tell us who you are and why you're here and how you started listening. We would love that, right?
Share your wins. Definitely share your wins, even non-scale victory. If you said no to a piece of cake, I count that as a win. And I also think that my body should know that and take off a pound just for saying no to food.
Like a weight loss high five. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening to Hate the Weight. For more information, you can visit HateToWeight.com for show notes and links to anything we've talked about in this episode. And if you'd like to join us in our journey, come be part of the Hate to Weight discussion group on Facebook. All right, Emily, I'll see you back next week.
All right. Have a good week, John.